Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the CRO, that is Contract Research Organization. Sometimes you have heard about clinical research organization, it is also written in some textbook, but the full form of CRO is Contract Research Organization. Lecture number 18, the subject is Pharmacovigilance with code BP 805 ET. So, let us start with its introductory part. Before going in detail, student, one should know what exactly the CRO is. So, contract research, contract means any area or location we are taking for contract purpose. Here contract is for to conduct a successful, smooth by following GMP, GLP guidelines, ICH guidelines to conduct a clinical trial. So, contract research organization is basically a center, a location, okay, for conduction of a clinical trial in short. So, a CRO is a company, a group of people that provide a support to the pharmaceutical company or also for the biotechnology related field and for medical device industries in the form of research services outsourced on a contract basis. That is why C stands for Contract Research Organization. Okay. So, I hope you understand this. This is nothing but it is a man-made company that provide a foolproof support to the pharma companies, biotechnology related research, medical devices related companies, industries to form a research to provide a good, better research services on the contract basis. Okay, when the time schedule ends, the contract over and again the new contract is provided to that particular CRO, okay, for the next drug discovery or trial purposes. So, a CRO may provide such services as biopharmaceutical drug development, biological assay development, it may be clinical or preclinical research, for the commercialization purpose, for preclinical and clinical research, also for the clinical trials. So, clinical trials you know these are phase 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 4 you know we have PMS, that is post marketing surveillance, which is nothing but now named as pharmacovigilance, the subject you are dealing pharmacovigilance. Okay. So, for the clinical trials running we need for its proper management and also to study the pharmacovigilance related to any class of drug, means the ADR reported or the toxicity generated by any drug, it should be reported, how it should be assessed and managed by the PV centers, clinical trial physicians or their investigator, that should be done under the governance of contract research organizations. Okay. So, CRO are designed to reduce the cost for various pharma companies for the development of new medicines and also for the development of different class of drugs in niche markets. Okay. Niche means native. Their aim is to simplify the entry of drug into the wholesale drug market and also to simplify the drug development process, as the need for the large pharmaceutical companies to do everything in-house is now reductant. Okay. So, everything in a single place is sometimes not going easy or not possible, or it will sometimes causing some obstruction or hindrance or some incompleteness of data or research, which will ultimately leads to not sound drug discovery results. Okay. So, to ease this working, there is a development of contract research organizations. So, contract research organization, it will also support other foundations apart from clinical research, any other research institutes and universities. In addition to the governmental organization, it is also working for NGOs, non-governmental organization. Apart from that, it is also helping for NIH and EMA. NIH is the National Health Institute, National Institute of Health, and EMA is student European Medicine Agency, etc. A CRO is responsible for further planning to set up, to start any trial, maybe preclinical trial, any research work, and to day execution of the data of individual patient's record, how to manage individual patient from that ADR and of its contracted clinical trial. Handling and supervision of the technical side. Technical sides means because it is a center or a area where we have found all the facilities of running a validated smoothly in a easy manner a trial. So, we need what? We need bed, we need the diagnostic kits, instruments, techniques, we need the daily food material or the parameters which is required by the volunteers, or like for example, a trial is situated for any newly discovered drug for 15 days, like 2 weeks. So, for 2 weeks the patients are admitted, okay, at different time their blood sample is collected. So, we need the pathologist, okay, we need the physician, their principal investigator. Apart from that, we need a sponsor, okay, if there is any lacking of drug or not only drug, any not working of any instrument or kit, we need to go for the sponsor for that lacking, to overcome this lacking for the smooth further running of the clinical trial. So, a CRO is only is responsible for the smoothful planning, running of the research, proper setup and day-to-day execution and management of its contracted clinical trial. CRO also responsible for better handling and supervising the technical side, the data collection and also for the medical testing. Medical testing again, the various diagnostic and the testing parameters, we need healthcare staff and the instruments to detect the results of the samples, maybe blood sample, stool, fecal, urine sample of the patient. Okay. They will comprise a significant portion of their task. Okay. They will ultimately helping the clinical research people or the members to run or to in the checking of a drug in the drug discovery pathway or to reach ultimate goal. Means after clinical trial we are sufficient able to get the results about the particular drug is how much percentage showing benefited, how much patient is benefited and what are the major ADR and side effect of that drug is reported by the patient. Now, coming to the regulatory aspect of contract research organization CRO. When we are talking about its regulatory aspect, student, we have to focus on the ICH guideline. Okay. So, what is this? ICH means International Council on Harmonization. This is the regulatory guideline for the startup of a CRO. In short, it is ICH, International Council on Harmonization of Technical Requirement. Why it is important? For the further registration of any newly discovered drug, any device, okay, for the any pharmaceutical for human consumption or human use. It is a 2015 Swiss NGO. NGO means non-governmental organization of pharmaceutical companies and others, which defined a CRO specifically to pertain or to conduct a clinical trial services as, what is the definition? As a person. CRO is sometime a single person also considered to be as a sponsor or any organization. Organization means there is a committee, group of people, highly skilled their people who are involved in commercial, academic or any other field. They are contracted by the sponsor to perform one or more of a sponsor's trial related duties and function. I hope this is clear to all of you. What are exactly CRO? As per ICH guidelines, ICH means International Conference on Harmonization. So, this is the definition of CRO, students, as per ICH guideline. A CRO is maybe a single person or any organization, person or the people of that organization may be from commercial or from any academics, because he or she should be well trained to deal with the human beings, okay, and any other, who are contracted by the sponsor. Who is the sponsor here? The whole sole responsibility of a sponsor is to take care of their clinical trial, okay, and their volunteers, may be healthy or ill, all, and their clinical research or clinical trial staff members, to perform one or more of a sponsor's trial, clinical trial related duties and their overall functions. Okay. So, I hope this is clear to everyone. Now, in further details, the sponsor's responsibility in its good clinical practices or guidelines say good clinical practices, okay, like we have GLP, GCP, GMP, good manufacturing practices, good lab practices. Here we have to follow about good clinical, because clinical means patients. We are dealing with the clinical patients. So, good clinical practices, we have to follow the specific guidelines. Okay. So, what is it is telling? 5.2.1. See here, first one, a sponsor may transfer any or all of the sponsor's trial related duties or all functions to a CRO, contract research organization, but the ultimate responsibility of for the quality and the integrity of the clinical trial data is always reside with the sponsor side. Okay. If any morbidity, mortality related condition occur during a clinical trial, the whole sole responsibility is of sponsor. Okay, students, not for the CRO. CRO is only the organization or a person who is taking the responsibility in contract basis, okay, to complete in a standard format by following the ICH GCP guideline to complete soundful or smoothly the particular clinical trial. The CRO should implement quality assurance and quality control related data. This is very important. Should implement QA and QC, that is quality control and quality assurance of that particular class of drug. Next, coming to the 5.2.2, any trial related duty and function of clinical trial that is transferred to the CRO and assumed by a CRO should be specified in writing. Okay, no verbal documentation is validated or accepted later, all should be in a written format and saved properly. The sponsor should ensure oversight of any trial related duties and all the functions of clinical trial carried out by on its behalf, which include the trial related duties and overall functions that are subcontracted to another party by the sponsors contract research organizations. Okay. Next, coming to 5.2.3, it will tell any trial related duties. It may be the take care of the volunteer or the management of the results or the analysis or assessment of individual case file report, or it is the management of ADR or the document data compilation part, any trial related duty and the function not specifically transferred to and assumed by a CRO are retained by the sponsor. What does it mean, student? This line tells you a clinical trial related duties which is now given by the sponsor to the CRO is for time being, because we are telling it is on contract basis, and all the functions of clinical trial not specifically transferred to and assumed by a CRO are retained by the, किसके पास रहेगी वो तब तक, sponsor के पास. It will retain or keep it in the context of sponsor. Next is 5.2.4, all the references. References means the bibliographic or the sources, drug related information sources. All references to a sponsor in this guideline also apply to a CRO to the extent that a CRO has assumed the trial related duties and functions of a sponsor. It means all references of the sponsor to a sponsor means the results after the completion of a clinical trial, the CRO is supposed to handle all their data and duties to the whole sole responsible person, which is nothing but the CRO. So, all references to a CRO is in this guideline GCP according to ICH guideline have to apply a CRO to that extent that a CRO has assumed that trial related duties and functions of the sponsor has been carried out fruitfully in a wayful manner by following standard operating procedure under the good clinical practices as per ICH guidelines. Okay. Now, coming to what are the various types of contract research organization. So, we will see in our next few slide the important CROs, famous CROs in India as well as globally. So, there are basically different type of CROs, contract research organization, and its type is basically depend on the specific services, what type of services one may ask for. Okay. So, specific services they offer. For example, CRO are seamed in drug discovery pathway, okay. They are involved in drug discovery task also, in the preclinical research or screening methodology. Preclinical means, students, when we are testing the drug by using different species, animal species, okay, experimental animals, okay, and we get the data from the animals. So, after that only we are starting our clinical research, okay. So, CRO are also for clinical trials and clinical research and also for the laboratory services, okay. Like for example, I am giving you one example, like we have lab path, okay. So, if any contract research organization may for some time hire the lab path, it will the lab path can provide, okay, all the information to that CRO for the time being, okay, because it is on contract basis, okay. After the contract is over, the CRO will get their remuneration and all the payment, then the new work or the contract will start. CRO are specialized in clinical trial related activities. This is very important. Contract research organizations are specialized, have to be specialized in clinical trial related activities, because we are talking about the drug discovery procedure pathway and the clinical trial related activities. Okay, clinical research means the testing of drug by using human beings. And what is exactly the pharmacovigilance? The pharmacovigilance ultimate goal is the safety and benefit of each and every human being. Okay, we have to focus on the safety prospect of the individual human, mankind. Okay. So, a CRO is also called as clinical research organization. That is why they should be specialized in clinical related activities. A contract research organization, sometimes also known as clinical research organization. Okay, both are sometimes similar terminology. So, it is a service or a organization that provide better support to the pharmaceutical and biotechnological industries in the form of outsourced pharmaceutical research services for both of different drugs and also for the medical devices. Okay. Because you should know we have different terminologies, like for pharmacovigilance means be vigilant about the drug. We have hemovigilance, hemo means blood, he means blood. So, be vigilant, be active about blood related products, like if we have severe hemorrhage, external hemorrhage, we need our blood group to be replaced, okay, or also in the cancer condition also, okay, leukemia. So, hemovigilance. Same as for medical devices, students, we have terminology medicovigilance, okay. So, for medical devices we should be vigilant whether it is optimum, it is calibrated or give validated results or not, okay. It should be checked properly before testing on the clinical trial. So, clinical research organization is a service organization that provides support to the pharmaceutical industry as well as biotechnological related industries in the form of outsourcing the pharmaceutical research for the drug development procedures in the drug discovery pathway for both drugs as well as medical devices. So, you have to remember it will work for both drugs as well as medical appliances. A pharma company desired to make a balance or control over the drug development pathway and without any fluctuation in the workload, okay. So, this can be helped or managed by the contract research organizations, or we can say the clinical research organizations. Now, CRO are designed to reduce the cost for these pharmaceutical and biotechnological companies who are regularly involved in development of new medicines and drugs in niche market. So, their aim is to simplify the entry into the drug market and simplify the drug development pathway, as the need for large pharmaceutical companies to do everything in house is not reductant, okay. So, there is a mid tier and low tier, we can say CROs are available. Mid tier CRO agency is considered as good, maintain good track record, but with less experience in their field. This type of help will start by charging anywhere in the country from $5,000 to $8,000 per month. The lowest tier CRO agencies considered as starting out in CRO with less dedicated staff, and they will charge anywhere in the globe from $2,000 to $5,000 per month. But they can use their tested process which is validated by regulatory authorities and methodologies, okay. Now, coming to the top 10 CROs globally, okay. These are some important 10 name of contract research organization. One is Covance, then we have IQVIA, Syneos Health, very famous CRO, Paraxil, then PRA Health Services, Charles River, Icon, then Clintank, then one is PSI and PPD. This is also very famous and old. PPD stands for Pharmaceutical Product Development, PPD. It is one of the leading contract research organization which operate in 48 countries across the globe, okay. Okay, students, so this is all global 10 top most contract research organizations example. Please go through. If any one of you interested, you can search by typing any one of its name, and you can also go in these clinical contract research organization, because you have sufficient knowledge about the clinical trials and preclinical research, okay. So, for your job purpose also you can go and get skillful training. After training you can get a job in this field also, okay. So, this is all about today's lecture. See you in our next lecture. Take care, update yourself by regularly studying. Thank you, bye bye.